Assalamu alaikum kids, hope that you all are having a great week. This is your English teacher with another interesting English lesson. My dear kids, have you ever imagined what could be hiding in the oceans? Well, do you know how much of the sea is unexplored? More than 80% of our ocean is unmapped, unobserved and unexplored. So my dear students, our today's chapter and lesson is all about oceans. So let's open unit number 1, the sea, lesson number 3, diving for treasure on page number 4. Basically in this chapter we have two characters, Dave and Jack. Now let's have a look at them. What are Dave and Jack talking about? Now here Jack is saying that I have found something, come and look. It looks like a ship, Dave replied. Jack and Dave are looking for a sunken ship on the seabed. Dave is looking at the seabed below the boat on the echo screen. Now what happened in the next picture? Jack is saying it's 80 meters below the surface, so I'll put on the heavy diving suit. Dave is saying, how long can you stay down at 80 meters? About 40 minutes, I think. Now here, Jack gets ready to dive into the water. What happened in the next picture? Dave is asking to Jack, can you see the ship? Yes, I'm getting closer to it now. Jack dives into the water. He goes down to the seabed. He gets his air from the boat through an airline. He can also speak through the phone line. Now in the next picture, Dave is getting worried about Jack. Keep talking, Jack. Where are you now? Jack is saying, I'm going inside the ship now. It's very dark. Jack goes inside the ship's cabin. There are a lot of boxes. I am opening one of the boxes now. This is amazing. Gold plates and silver cups. I wonder what else is down there. Jack goes into the ship's cabin. There are a lot of boxes. He starts opening them. I am opening one of the cupboards now. Now here, Jack feels something on the back of his neck. What happened in the next picture? Oh, get off me. Goodness, you are strong. Aha, lunch. Jack fights with a giant octopus. It wants to pull off his mask. Jack has to pull its legs away. Now in the next last picture, here Dave is asking to Jack, where are the boxes? I was in a fight, but I won. So what happened to the other chap? Half an hour later, Jack arrives back at the... Alright kids, now as we are done with the reading and explanation, so now it's time to learn some new words from unit number 1, the sea. So let's move towards the first word. Treasure, a quantity of precious metals, gems or other valuable objects. Now let's move towards the next word. Shark, a long-bodied marine fish that eats meat of other fish or sea creatures. Now let's move towards the next word. Dive, to plunge into water intentionally and specially head first also. Let's move towards the last word. Surface, the outside part or uppermost layer of something. Alright kids, now it's time to grow your vocabulary from unit number 1, the sea. So let's move towards the first vocabulary meaning. Giant, something of very unusual in size. Let's move towards the next vocabulary meaning. Airline, a pipe supplying air in the mouth. Let's move towards the next vocab. Safe, secure from harm, danger or risk. Let's move towards the last vocab. Mask, a covering for all or part of the face. Alright kids, now it's time to make some sentences from unit number 1, the sea. So let's start with sentence number 1. The first word is boxes, a container with a flat base and sides, typically square or rectangular. The example sentences are, there are pencils in the boxes. I have many shoe boxes. The next word is octopus, a sea creature with a soft oval body and 8 arms. The example sentence is, She saw a huge octopus. The next word is gold. Valuable metal that is shiny and yellow and can be used in making jewelry. The example sentences are: My mother has a beautiful gold ring. She had a gold tooth. The next word is ship. A large boat for transporting people or goods by sea. The example sentences are: I saw a large cargo ship. That ship is very colorful. Now here we have one text exercise from unit number 1, the sea. This is exercise number 1 on page number 4. In this exercise, a question is given which you have to answer. The question is, what are Dave and Jack looking for? What do they find? The answer is, they are looking for a sunken ship. They find treasure in it. Now here we have one more text exercise. This is exercise number 3 on page number 5. In this exercise, 8 questions are given. Let's move towards the first question. Question number 1 is, what do Dave and Jack use to find the sunken ship? The answer is, they used an echo screen. Question number 2 is, how far is the sunken ship from the boat? The answer is, it is about 80 meters below. Question number 3 is, how long does Jack plan to spend on the seabed? The answer is, about 40 minutes. Question number 4 is, what does Jack breathe through? The answer is, an airline. Question number 5 is, what does Jack speak through? The answer is, a phone line. Question number 6 is, why is it hard to see inside the old ship? The answer is, because it is very dark. Question number 7 is, why is it hard for Jack to fight the octopus? The answer is, it is hard for Jack because it is a giant octopus. The last question is, was it more important to bring up the treasure or to come up safely? The answer is, it was more important to come up safely. Alright kids, now here we have a very interesting grammar topic, antonym or opposites. Do you know what is the opposite of opposite? Yes, it's identical. Now what are antonyms? Antonyms are words with the opposite meaning. Let's move towards the first word. Bad. The antonym of bad is good. Now let's move towards the next word. Strong. The antonym of strong is weak. Let's move towards the next word. Sweet. The antonym of sweet is sour. Let's move towards the next word. Left. The antonym of left is right. Now let's move towards the last word. Import. That means to get something from any other country. Now let's move towards the antonym of import. Export. That means to send something from your country to any other country. Alright kids, now as our text work is done and now it's time to start the grammar work. We have a very interesting exercise on page number 6, exercise number 1. In this exercise, some jumbled words are given which we have to arrange and make a proper sentence by using there is or there are. Now when do we have to use there is and there are? When we talk about one thing, then we use there is. For example, there is a boy, there is a book, there is an apple. And when we talk about 2 or more things, then we use there are. For example, there are 2 oranges, there are 3 people, there are 5 glasses. So now let's start this exercise by making sentence number 1. There is a shark swimming in the bay. Now as you can see in this picture that there is only one shark, and when we talk about any singular, so we use there is. In the next sentence, there are some birds flying over the water. Now you can see that there are many birds, more than one bird, so we use there are. In the next picture, there are 2 girls playing near the lake. Once again, we have a plural here. There are 2 girls, so we use there are. In the next picture, there is a man sleeping under the tree. There is only one man, there is a singular, so we use there is. In the last picture, there are some children hopping on the beach.